that we see a rise. As I mentioned, there's about 10 million plus corneal blind around the world. 98% of those are in developing countries. When you look at the LVPEI statistics for 2016, there was roughly about 50,000 corneas provided for transplant and transplant surgeries done in the US. There really isn't a waiting line, and in fact there was an excess of tissue in the United States that was sent abroad to help with the gap in transplants abroad. The overall number of transplants done outside the US is approximately 100,000. So there's a very large delta between cornea available to eliminate this disease and what's being provided within these countries. So closing that gap is an area where SightLife and its partners focus. This is just a little overview that shows you in a little more detail by some of these countries that we work in, the major gap that we have to address as a community. The red pie charts will focus on potential at-risk communities for corneal transplantation. The gold pie chart are those that actually patients that could benefit from a corneal transplantation. And the tiny sliver that you'll see are the number of transplants that were actually done in those countries in 2016. So not only is there a very large disparity in access to tissue, but the bottom chart that you'll see down here is there's also the ability to drive up utilization in those areas. So in a lot of these countries, you'll find that the number of corneas recovered, only about 50% or less can actually be utilized. So there's a very large opportunity to work to train eye bank professionals in developing countries to raise their skill sets, their standard operating procedures, and their quality, so we can get higher utilization out of the scarce tissue that's there.